I am Margaret in Windsor. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin. The name I have to go by is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. So, Peggy Ann Childers, or I'm on Facebook, Peggy Childers. I'm going to say this again, and it's gotten me nowhere. And for people to pretend that they don't believe it, or someone told me first you have to care. If you go back through my YouTubes, you get it. I wrote about mind control murders. They were deliberately done in patterns, so it could be proven. But that started a long time ago when I wrote the book, MD: A License to Kill. That was in 76 to 80 when I had antifreeze put in me on April Fool Day. And Lois Pearson, Pierson, or Pearson, was a woman who put the antifreeze in me, and there were doctors involved, and my ex-husband was involved. I mean, you know, anybody could check it out. Well, somebody told me, first you have to care. So I was across the state line illegally with my brain. I should have died. And this is just an ongoing. This is one volume, if you want to say, out of my life. I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson. Simpson, as in Wallace Warfield Simpson, that was supposed to have married the King of England, Edward VIII, and he was supposed to have abdicated, and that they became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. It was a lie. I've pulled out the photos. I've pulled out the twins that they gave me the name. Both of them were dead, killed by their mothers back then. You know, with the birth certificates, the dates were even changed on the twins' birth dates. The death certificate for Carl, he had one, was altered because it didn't fit into the timeline. So where am I going with this? It's insulting to me, all that's been done to me, when all I was trying to do in this country, that its claim to fame is it stole it from Great Britain in the beginning, but that has life and liberty and justice for all. That is the biggest bunch of bull that I hope that the world has to see on a daily basis what you all have done to me. The suffering is unreal, and to my sons. And my parents and my father's King Edward VIII, married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, not Wallace Warfield Simpson, the American spy, who married a double, a look-alike, an imposter. And this was all carried out by, I watched PBS the other day, and I couldn't believe when they showed the picture. It was supposed to be my father, King Edward VIII, and about him abdicating. By the way, there was a 99-year seal put on it. Why on earth, that's a red flag right there. Why on earth would anybody put a 99-year seal on it? There was a lease on Hong Kong when the Brits turned that over to China. At least that was a lease. And legit, this seal was put on my father in my birth in 39 to cover it up. I'm the kidnapping, the takedown. On PBS, they even mentioned the Bishop of Canterbury. And you got my Uncle George. They said that he was pulled in to become the king. My God, he helped kidnap me. He took down his brother. Under any other law or something like that done in this country, a brother to another, there would be so much havoc. But the New World Order with the Jews, the Bilderbergers, Joe Kennedy was ambassador to England during that time and helped in my kidnapping. And my uncle helped, and the rest of the New World Order. Roosevelt appointed Joe Kennedy. So you got the Warren House cover-up. By the way, Warren House is where I lived when I worked for the district attorney Simpson. It doesn't take a great brain to know what's been done to me and being moved around in patterns. And I didn't even know about my kidnapping in real name when I worked for the DA. That's after the antifreeze. And by the way, I finally had a lab report, which it's nothing funny. It's hideous because nobody seems to give up. And no, I didn't use language. I have begged and thanked, and I guess when people have really treated me like a piece of garbage. And I want to say this, and I hope, and I'm going to stop because it's done no good whatsoever. All these videos and all the Facebook and what? The Brits saved my life and the Germans and a few Americans. Other than that, the Americans, that arrogance, I hope the world has to see. And I wished and hoped that Hannah, because that's a mind control, done in mind control, just like Alexis Murphy, and I'm not going to mention the other one. Her parents are very powerful here, and God knows, you know. But this didn't just start with them. I started telling and writing about it when I'd worked for doctors in Atlanta. I said that in '76, and the Center for Disease Control was mentioned in there, and Emory University. So it's come to pass some of what I was putting in the book. And you're going to tell me you didn't believe it? Well, I'm 75 years old, and I don't know where my sons are, Mark and Scott. And somebody can come out here and handcuff me and lock me up. You know what? Not one of you would do anything. So I am today who I am tomorrow, just in case this is told. And anywhere along the line, you could have obeyed the law, the press, the media is so much a part of the cover-up. So I don't even know if this is going, but if it is, I hope Hannah is found alive. She's English. Her parents were thanking the Americans and begging you to help find her so they could take her home, and they were saying how generous you are. Circumstance dictates how the Americans help. They did not want to hear about me. Me being British and telling about my kidnapping and the crimes you committed against me. So no, my experience has been a living hell by you all.